So I want to get this out of the way. I was gonna do this later, but or even I planned to do it earlier, but I figured, why not just do it now? Because apparently, I don't think anybody's gonna really rest that much right now. Just thinking about what happened at WrestleMania, mostly with the main event. Look, I get fans are pissed. There is no doubt about it. You know, Everybody thought, and this is why when I did my predictions video, I looked at this match and said, unlike the others, I can't pick a winner. It's a toss-up. Because I looked at the fact that you had two tempting opportunities for WWE to look at. You had Cody Rhodes that you could crown as champion and give him a new, fresh slew of opponents and challengers, even if he's faced them already, but in different, programs and everything, build him up a little bit as champion, right? Make him credible. But then on the other hand, you had Roman Reigns approaching 1,000, and the giveaway was the fact that WWE would have Michael Cole or what's his name, Kevin Patrick or whatever, or Corey Graves or even Wade Barrett, build up the fact that he was close to it. That they would mention he's at 900 something days. He's at 900 something days. And that pretty much would give away the fact that, they're going to probably want to reach 1,000, or at least it's tempting them to want to reach 1,000 with him. So, to me and anybody else, trying to pick a winner between Roman and Cody just, honestly, was not the best choice. It wasn't. It wasn't the best choice. That's why, for someone like me, it was hard to do. So, when I see what they did last night at WrestleMania, I realize that they did that because the temptation to get to 1,000 overwhelmed the temptation to get, a new champion, a new fresh face on top. Also, we have to realize that Triple H is all about storytelling. If he's the one behind this mostly, and Cody's going along with the ride, he's more about the storytelling. And he's more about telling the story of how you get from point A to point B. Because you see, for Cody, him challenging tonight wasn't, him challenging last night, I should say, you would think, okay, he came back last year at Mania, he tore his pec in his rivalry with Seth Rollins, he worked his way back, entered the Rumble, yes, at number 30, which people still get on WWE about. And you pretty much feel like, okay, the stage is set. He overcame almost a career-ending injury to come back, work harder to come back. Despite how you feel about him and what number he entered to, win the Rumble at, here he was, potentially in the biggest match in WrestleMania history, almost, I would say, in the past, 13 years, 14 years is one of the biggest matches they've had. And yet, you would think with all of that, the WWE would go with the Cody route, right? In other words, let bygones be bygones and finally let a Rhodes be champion. Not so fast. Not so fast. Because you see basically, Cody returning last year, that was just a taste of what we were going to get. That AEW had gotten, we were getting in WWE. That was just a taste of it. The injury basically pushed things back. Yeah, it pushed things back. You see, I think it's obvious to a lot of us that the original plan was for Cody to go to SummerSlam or Survivor Series last year and face Roman Reigns for the title, lose, and then basically get back on his horse, ride again, and ride into the Royal Rumble, maybe originally to be at number 1, not number 30, and then go on to win the Rumble, and then go on to beat Roman at WrestleMania. The injury is what basically became the obstacle that he had to overcome. An unexpected obstacle, but it was an obstacle. What I'm getting at is this. yes, did WWE, from a new, fresh-faced kind of perspective, screw up at WrestleMania Night 2? Yes. And obviously fans are letting them know about it. But, from a storyline perspective, did they derail the quest? No. Did they finish the story? No. What this is basically the story that we were supposed to get last year, during SummerSlam, but delayed up till now. It's kind of like with a movie. We see and hear all these news is easy for me to say, but we see and hear all this news coming out about all these delays of all these blockbuster movies that were originally supposed to happen at this date, but they're being pushed back to this date because of production reasons or behind the scenes reasons or reshoots. And when it's all said and done, sometimes the end result, because of the delay, sometimes that end result turns out to be better than we expect. And that's the truth. I mean, one of the best superhero films from last year was Spider-Man Far From Home. Right? Oh, no, well, not Far From Home, but what was it? Spider-Man Far From Home? I'm trying to see right now which one it was. Oh, No Way Home. Yeah, it was Spider-Man No Way Home. I think that was the one. Let me check. Yeah, No Way Home. That movie for a while got delayed. It got delayed, right? It was delayed. No one knew exactly what, when it was going to be, when the actual release date was going to be until we got it. And guess what? The delay actually helped it out. True, some of the delay was because of COVID. There's no doubt. But the end result was it became one of the biggest superhero blockbuster films in a long time, if not in history. So by using that as an example, I look at the fact that Cody not winning at WrestleMania is like basically Sony and Disney delaying Spider-Man No Way Home until December of a year or so ago, and then giving it to us then when they made sure everything was finished and in the can, and the end result that they gave us was a blockbuster hit. One of the best superhero movies of all time. And that's how I see Cody's situation. Like, the original plan for Cody was lose at SummerSlam, win here at WrestleMania. But because of the pectoral injury he got, it delayed that opportunity till now. To the point that, yes, he went through the stage of winning the Rumble to get to Mania. But instead of Mania being, the end goal, Mania became SummerSlam Survivor Series. One of those two that it was supposed to happen at. And now SummerSlam is going to be Mania. That's what it's going to be. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. And again, I understand fans are hot. They're pissed. And if Triple H is truly running things, he'll have WWE acknowledge it. And maybe they might do something tomorrow. Maybe they might say, hey, Roman's gonna, maybe they'll take a page out of AEW and MJF's playbook. Maybe they'll have Roman say, hey, you gotta go through certain opponents before you get to me. And the end goal to get to me is SummerSlam. Maybe they might do that. We don't know. We don't know. But to me, I understand. I get, how fans are feeling right now. I get that you're pissed about it. I really do. And again, honestly, I look at the fact that, this was the opportunity, probably one of the best opportunities they had. But again, the way I look at it is from a movie, from the perspective of a movie being delayed from its original date to a later date. Sometimes they want to make sure everything is fine-tuned and ready to go. Nothing is amiss and everything. There's no reshoots that need to be taken care of. They want to make sure everything is fine-tuned before they decide to land on the release date. And right now, because of what happened with Cody last year, that delayed what happened tonight from originally happening at SummerSlam or Survivor Series that delayed it from that time period to now. And because of that moment, because of that injury, because of that, WrestleMania became what SummerSlam or Survivor Series is supposed to be. And now SummerSlam, if not maybe Money in the Bank, if not probably Backlash at the earliest, but more likely Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, is going to be where it takes place. So basically, they are delaying the WrestleMania moment as unjustly as and unfairly as some people may look at it. They're delaying it until Money in the Bank, until SummerSlam, because that way, you get the conclusion of the story, in the way it was supposed to be done, just delayed by a few months. So yeah, I get that fans are upset. I understand that. It is heartbreaking, but you know what? If his story is, if his overall story arc is to finish the story no matter what obstacles lie in front of him, then so be it. I mean, this is the same opportunity they had in AEW with him. Cody had in AEW. He could have at any time, found a way to get back into the world title scene. And I think they were even teasing that at times. But he never did. He just, kept his word and he stuck to it. He kept his word. That was part of his story of, I'm not going to go after the title if I don't win it, but I'll go after something, as a constellation. Now, does that mean they'll put the U.S. Championship on him as a constellation? Maybe. Maybe that might be the motivation he needs to climb to that top again. Like, that's the spark. That's the start. But we'll see. We'll see, because if Roman's not going to be there and you want Cody to be the man, what better way to make him the man than to put the second most important championship on your brand that he's a part of on him and make him treat that as if it's more important than the world title. And maybe, storyline-wise, Roman notices this. It's like, wait a minute. How can his championship be more important than mine? That don't make sense. And maybe that's what brings Roman in and says, hey, I want one more match with you. I want to prove I'm the champ. I'm the one. That I always say, I'm the top dog. Maybe that's what does it. We don't know. There's something that's going to happen that's going to get us that rematch. And it might be the fact that Cody has to become U.S. champion, elevate that title in a way that, he would have with the Undisputed title. That gets the attention of Roman Reigns, and then that's how we get to SummerSlam. Or even Money in the Bank, where basically you have a unification match, for both titles, or you just have title for title. That might be what happens. We'll see. But again, I understand completely how fans are feeling. I really do. But the way I look at it, I do put trust in Triple H if he is still going to be behind things creatively, and it looks like he will be. I put trust in him to make sure we get from point A to point B. And again, the way I look at it is two ways. I look at the fact that the reason we didn't get our moment tonight at last night at WrestleMania is because what happened tonight at WrestleMania was supposed to originally happen at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, but because of that injury Cody suffered, just like a movie has production issues or reshoots it has to do, and it causes it to be delayed to a later date. That's what happened with Cody. Cody's injury caused his opportunity here at WrestleMania to be delayed to a later date. Whether it's Money in the Bank, SummerSlam at the latest, or even at the earliest, if they want to, Backlash. But we'll see. But I also look at the fact that if Roman's going to take time off, but you still want to treat Cody as like he is the guy, I think giving him the U.S. Championship off of Austin Theory will be a way to do it. So that way he elevates that title to the same kind of stratosphere that the Undisputed title's at. And storyline-wise, maybe that gets Roman's attention because now people are talking about, how prestigious the U.S. Championship is and how more important it is than the Undisputed World Championship that Roman has. Maybe that's what happens. We'll see. And you know what? I would not bet against that happening. I wouldn't. But what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments, in the live chat, during the premiere. Let me know what your thoughts are. But again, guys, I get where you're all coming from, your disappointment and everything. But to me, I look at it like a movie being delayed. I look at it as a movie being delayed because of reshoots, production issues, stuff like that. All because of Cody's injury being the cause of said delay. That's what I look at. And that WrestleMania became what SummerSlam and Survivor Series was supposed to be, and that Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, or Backlash at the earliest will be what WrestleMania was supposed to be. That's just my opinion. But let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below, live chat during the premiere, and I am out.